I can think of 3-4 films. The first and foremost is Sham Benegalji's film, which was written by me and Shama Zaidi, which is called Mujib, The Making of a Nation. Then recently there has been a film called Pipa about a certain amphibian tank. Then there is Sam Bahadur, which again has some footprint about Bangladesh and the 1971 war, because Sam Bahadur was the leader of that whole war, which India fought with the then Pakistan, and then which led to the creation of Bangladesh. And then of course, there was a film being made by Richie Mehta, which got shelved at the same time, otherwise that would have been another film. And you can also talk about Faraz by Hansal Mehta. So apart from Faraz, the only reason that I can think of for these 4 films coming so close to each other is the fact that in 2021, it was going to be the 50 years of the founding of Bangladesh and 50 years of the great war which India decisively won. Yes, Bangladesh is an unexplored territory for the Indian viewers, especially. I mean, there are 20 other countries which we have not, or 200 other countries which we have not kind of seriously explored. Bangladesh is a beautiful country. Bangladesh has mountains. Bangladesh has one of the biggest coastlines. Bangladesh has world's longest beach in terms of Cox's Bazar. About 120 kilometers of uninterrupted beach. You don't have such beaches anywhere in the world. So Bangladesh has too many beautiful things. But of course, accessibility to Bangladesh was rather limited despite our closeness. There were not too many flights. Now with the private airlines is coming, there are now almost every airline is flying to, every private airline is also flying to, apart from of course Air India and Biman, which is the Bangladesh's state airlines. So maybe this could be the reason Indian filmmakers to go to Bangladesh and shoot their films there. But otherwise, I would urge them to go and see and find this unexplored beauties in Bangladesh. Most of our classic Bengali directors, they all have a connect with Bangladesh, whether it was Satyajit Ray, whether it was Ritwik Ghatak himself, whether it was Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore, the Tagore family initially belonged to Bangladesh, to Lower Bengal as it was known, or East Bengal as it is known. And from there the family shifted to Calcutta, made their home in Jorashanko in Kolkata. But all their lands and everything, all their big zamindari was all in the East Bengal. And that's why Tagore's initial days were all spent in Bangladesh, and Bangladesh had a great river connectivity. There are about 5,000 rivers in Bangladesh. So Tagore used to sit in a boat, and Tagore's whole adolescence and younghood was spent in East Bengal, sitting on the boats, going to those villages, meeting those people, gathering those stories from there. And all that khazana, all that treasure is with us, which we have not explored enough. On the 26th of March itself, they first attacked the University of Dhaka. And in Dhaka University, they killed as many students as possible because they did not want intellectuals to grow there. They killed professors and teachers. They went to the papers and burned the News9 papers. They killed all the intellectuals possible, all the writers possible. And then they started raping women. About more than 2 lakh women were raped by these Pakistani soldiers. And they used to say that we will change the DNA of this place. So many Punjabis will rape so many Bengali women that their DNA will change and everybody will become a Punjabi. Their children will become Punjabi and they'll no more be Bengalis. This kind of a mad thing which can only come from the armies. And especially Pakistani army has been known for its kind of a ruthlessness. So when this started happening, and about 30 lakh people were killed, so villages after villages, city after city of Bangladesh, they started emptying and pouring into India. So by the end of the year, there was about 1 crore Bangladeshis living in Tripura, living in Bengal, living in Assam. They had all come. Indira Gandhi first had to make arrangements to feed them, make arrangements for their to live in some kind of a shelters, make arrangements for their safety, for their medical needs, for their water, for everything. It was such a load on a country. So she started appealing to the whole world. Sam, Bangladesh's is very important part, because in the March itself, when the oppressions against the Bangladeshi population started, when the women started getting raped, when the people started getting killed indiscriminately, they were told to dig their own graves, hundreds of them, and then stand there in the front of that ditch and tuck. They used to shoot them, put them, and just put some dust and go. The last man was told to put the dust over them, and then the last man was also shot and go. So when this kind of an oppression was happening, when this kind of atrocity was happening, when this kind of a genocide was happening in Bangladesh, Mrs. Gandhi called General Manekshaw and said, well, Sam, this is happening next door and we have to stop this. And Sam said, give me some time. He said, no, we must take action immediately. And Sam Bahadur said, no, ma'am, this is not the right time to take action, because we are in the month of end of March, almost April by the time, because 26th of March was too late for another country to react to what was happening, and the killings had just started and then were spreading all over, starting from Dhaka. So he said, we are in the month of March. By the time I gather my armies and send them there, and we have to be very worried about the Western Front as well, because Pakistan is not going to sit at home and just watch when we do some action in Bangladesh. So we have to be ready for the two fronts. And by the time my armies reach there, by the time my men reach there, and by the time equipment reaches there, which takes trains, he said, it will start raining, because there are pre-monsoon rains which will start. And pre-monsoon rains in a land with 5,000 rivers is going to be making it a marsh. And in the marshy land, no tanks could go ahead. After all, in both in 71 and 65, we had foiled the Pakistani pattern tanks only by cutting our own canals and making that whole land in Punjab into a marsh. And tanks, their rotators used to just rotate, and the chain used to rotate, and the tanks could not go ahead. We did not want to fall into that situation ourselves. So he said, in a marshy land we cannot go, so just wait. Also he said that, madam, now your wheat fields are ready for harvesting, and all that wheat will have to be taken from Punjab and Haryana and other places and UP and wherever to different granaries all over the country, to the Food Corporation of India's silos all over the country, for which you need every truck and for which you need every train to move that much of grain. And remember, this is about 52 years ago. The number of the trains and things was not that many. So he said, you will need every truck and every train to move your grain. And without grain, no country can live. And I need every truck and every train in the country to move my soldiers and move my equipment. So just wait, give me some time to prepare, and then we will do it after the Barsat, if we have to take an action. And things went from bad to worse. India and Bangladesh's diplomatic relations were always good to begin with. They were always good to begin with right from 1971 itself. They were so good that in 16th of December 1971, when India helped in the liberation of Bangladesh and founding of the Bangladesh with Mukti Bahini, then that army, which was a kind of a improvised army of the people of Bangladesh, with some police and some army Bengali soldiers also joining it. When we created it, we waited for Mujibur Rahman to come back on the 10th of January. He came back about 25 days after the liberation. When he came back and he met Indira Gandhi, one of the first requests he did, and he said, I will get my 1 crore people back to their villages in Bangladesh, and you should get Indian army out as soon as possible, as soon as the order is restored. And I think in the history of the world, it doesn't happen that if a foreign army goes to a foreign land, and by 18th of March, everybody is back. And people ask, why 18th of March? And Indira Gandhi said, this is Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's birthday, and I want to give him a birthday gift by pulling each Indian soldier out of Bangladesh. New regime which came, which was Islamist, which was dictatorial, which was run by the army, and later on two army generals, General Rashad and General Rahman, both of them became the presidents of Bangladesh, of the Islamic Republic of Bangladesh. Naturally, those days, their relationship with India could not be too good. So it was because of the change of the regime, and change of not only the regime, but the nature of the regime. From a democracy, when it became an army dictatorship again, that the relationship between India and the then Bangladesh soared. But 15 years ago, Sheikh Hasina, the brave daughter of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, whom Indira Gandhi had picked up from Germany and brought here, she got saved only because she was in Germany at that time. She and her younger sister, two of them, Sheikh Hasina and Sheikh Rehana. They were in Germany, and Indira Gandhi picked them and brought them to Delhi. And when ultimately she showed the bravery of going back to Bangladesh and fighting again for democracy and again changing Bangladesh constitution and making it the People's Republic of Bangladesh, the relationship between the two countries started becoming better and better and better.
Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.